In our last episode, we were in Missouri spending time with our good friends Jake and Becky from White House on the Hill. In case you didn't know, this is my wife Sarah. And this is me, Ethan. And this is our crazy family of 6. Oh, and this is our dog Pixel. She's still back in Minnesota, but she's crazy too. We recently decided to sell our property in Minnesota and strike out on a new adventure to look for a new property where we could find more land in a more rural location and live a more deliberate life off-grid and away from the trappings of modern society. The first place we've decided to look is in the Ozarks, and even though we have quite a few requirements, there are actually a lot of properties for us to look at. We've traveled enough down in this part of the world to not need a map. St. Joseph to Kansas City, take the turn toward Bolivar, then to Springfield, then south to Branson. None of this is novel anymore. It all feels familiar. Being from central Minnesota, we're used to flat terrain, but when I look out and see roads cut through stone and ridge tops off in the distance, there's some part of me that just looks on in awe. We were only about 15 minutes outside of Branson. Everything was going great, and then
Yep. I don't know if you guys can hear me right now, but yeah, that's right. We blew a tire somewhere on the highway going towards Branson when you start seeing all the signs for all the shows and stuff. And well, we're gonna call roadside assistance and have them help us get the spare tire on there. Man, blew a tire. Definitely not the greatest thing in the world.
you can let the small stuff beat you up, or you can roll with the punches and adapt. We chose the latter and made it to a campground in Branson a couple hours later than we had planned and left the next morning to go look at this property, which was the first one on our list. On paper, it had everything we wanted in a property. I had made contact with the owner to schedule a showing a few days before we left. We had high hopes the morning we left Branson to look at it. I tend to have just the right amount of optimism to go on adventures, and just the right amount of pessimism to not get myself killed in the process. I'm also good at hiding my disappointment, and I'm good at moving on, but I still get let down when things don't work out.
I'm not going to drop the camera out the window. It's hard to see how steep it is, though. The camera is definitely not going to show this well enough. That is. Oh, can I stop looking for a minute?
No.
Can't even show. It's too bumpy to get good.
It doesn't matter.
Definitely a no-go.
Yeah, bummer,
Yeah.
but it's just too steep. The average, I would say, this is the flattest part of the property besides the bottom ground. And I don't even know how to get down to the river. There's a trail that's a walking path that looked like you were, needed to be a Sherpa to go through it. So, yeah, it's a no-go.
You could have mountain goats on this property.
You could have goats. Goats would love this property. Just good luck going and getting them. Yeah.
On to the next place.
On to the next place.
Life keeps spinning, no one's winning. Are we ever gonna stop pretending that there's no ending, there's no mending? When is this bubble gonna pop? I'm sorry, but our time is out. Whatever we had is gone.
I thought there was a turtle up ahead.
See, that was a turtle. I was like, is that a crab? And then I get up and we get closer and I realize it's a tarantula.
I did not know
So creepy.
that tarantulas existed in Missouri, and now I want to go home to Minnesota.
They do. Mom,
Tarantula. How cool is that? We saw a tarantula in the wild.
So creepy.
It's at this point where it's hard not to question what in the world we've done by selling our home. Sometimes I feel robust and sturdy. Other times I feel weak, fragile, frail, as if a light nudge would carry me away like ash on a strong wind. It's at times like these that I realize that there's too much me in our choices. Instead of trusting the Creator's plan, I become focused on what I need to do. What are the next steps I need to take? What are my goals? How do I achieve them? What do I even want? I suppose it's all normal. Submission and trust in a divine plan is difficult, especially for a type A personality like mine. But whenever I start feeling this way, anxious and imbalanced, I realize that it's time to focus on the source and stop focusing on myself. Like an old, externally worn but internally perfected Swiss timepiece, focusing on the Father and trusting in His plan works with precision and definitiveness that gives me peace. The moment I let go of my desires and focus on and submit to His plans, I become like a rock, stable, firm, and unbending. I am no longer imbalanced. The anxiety and fear vanishes like gasoline evaporates on hot metal on a warm summer's day in July. It's as if I have been given just a glimpse of His certainty, and in that moment I realize that everything will work out exactly how it was supposed to. There is a place He has chosen for us, and all we need to do is find it. There's a lot of confusion in the world right now, and I would like to give you this warning. Be careful. We all get a choice of who or what we put our trust in. Especially in the world we live in today, choose wisely.